Carter is not only topping the charts, it's opened a conversation on the historic contributions of Black country artists. And people like my next guest, actually, Alice Randall, is the first Black female songwriter to have a #1 country hit. She did it way back in 1994. Through 5 decades, she's written songs for artists like Trisha Yearwood, Marie Osmond, and Glenn Campbell. Now she's taken those songs and re-recorded them with Black artists for a new album called My Black Country, The Songs of Alice Randall. She's also written a companion book called My Black Country, A Journey Through Country Music's Black Past, Present, and Future. Please welcome Alice Randall, along with one of the very talented artists featured on the album, Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter Valerie June. To the show. You performed on the show before in a video, but welcome to the show physically this time. Yes?
I am so thrilled to be here with you.
I am very honored to have you. It's incredible what's happening right now in country music, but you've been doing this for years.
I've been doing this for 41 years.
Yeah.
And I have to say,
massive success.
I first came to New York to see country music in 50 years ago when I heard the Supremes sing at the Copacabana, and they sang Queen of the House.
Oh my gosh. What an amazing thing to be able to say you were there to witness. I would have loved seeing something like that. And the timing is kind of perfect for what's happening right now, but you've been working on this for years, right?
I have been working on this book for literally 41 years, but 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I had a chance to think about if I only had a limited amount of time, because for a moment it seemed like that.
Yeah.
What did I want to do? And one thing was to write the history of Black people in country and Western music, my history in it.
Yeah.
And the other was to hear my songs that I have been writing, recorded by Black women as I had originally imagined them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations. Success.
People like Valerie.
I know. Well, I'm going to say you sang A Big Dream on the album and also on our show. It was beautiful. Your style, first of all, is so rad. I remember you came on I was watching it and I was like, she's so cool right now. So you're proud to be a part of this project, right?
So proud. I love Alice's songwriting, and that we finally, after 5 decades, have space and we're celebrating Alice's work.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
And Valerie's voice, Valerie June's voice, is exactly that hippie, trippy voice I imagined all those years ago.
Oh, it's country. It's a nice vibe. So the music journey you're kind of wanting to take people on, it traces back to Motown, right? For you, right?
My journey started in Detroit, went through Harvard, and where I started listening to country a lot as I was typing papers and falling deeper and deeper in love with it.
Yeah.
And it came to me because I was born in Motown, and my father was good friends with Anna Gordy and the Gordy family. So I knew that women had actually started a record label, Anna Records, the year before Motown Records. And so it occurred to me that the way to support my life as a serious novelist would be to start a country music publishing company and be a songwriter, and it worked.
Yeah, and educating people as well. And I can only imagine the backlash that you had as a Black woman in Nashville at that time, right?
It was very hard. When I arrived in 1983, one of someone I really looked up to that I was dying to meet stepped 4 steps away from me and said, I've been at this too long if I have to compete with N-word girls from Harvard for cuts. And I stepped towards him, and I said, I am, and you do.
Yeah! Oh my God! Oh, I love those moments when you have the right thing to say at the right time. It's like, oh my gosh. So, well, how did you get involved in the project?
So Ebony Smith and Alice's daughter, Carolyn Randall, they both came to me with the project, and they said, we have the perfect song for you. And the song is called Big Dream. I was like, yes, I am excited to be on a record. Finally, all of us together, and the way she creates community through her work. And so when she approached me about being on Big Dream, I was super excited, but I was also excited after hearing the lyrics and just have so much respect for her as a songwriter, because the intro lyric is, I have a dream. I have a dream of my own. And I thought back to being from Memphis and Jackson and Humboldt, Tennessee, and Dr. King being from Memphis, and him having that I Have a Dream speech. And I was just like, the way she brought not only all of us Black female musicians who are doing this for decades together, but also she's bringing together a healing in the country music world.
Yeah.
If we can heal things in the country music world, then we can see Dr. King's dream all across the United States and all races and all kinds of people celebrating through music.
Wouldn't it be beautiful?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And I love the way she did that,
Oh my gosh. I could just listen to you talk all day. Like, I love your accent so very much. Valerie is one of several artists featured on Alice's new album, My Black Country, The Songs of Alice Randall. Alice also has written a companion book called My Black Country, A Journey Through Country Music's Black Past, Present, and Future. I love that title and everything it encompasses, by the way, as well. It documents her own story along with the history of Black country artists. Last year, this is one of my favorite performances. Luke Combs' version of Tracy Chapman's Fast Car was a huge country hit, and them performing it together was so magical, I thought. And now Beyonce's Cowboy Carter is the biggest album of the year so far. So, I mean, how does this kind of fit into what you're writing about? Because you've been doing this for years. There's been artists that you said have been doing this for years, and now the spotlight's kind of coming on it.
Well, you know, I've been teaching a course at Vanderbilt since 2006 called Country, Lyric, and American Culture, and in 2015, I started teaching Black country. That whole time, I have taught Fast Car as a country song.
Yeah. Oh, she's such a great
Since
songwriter.
2006. Yeah. And this year, I'll be teaching in the fall, and the center of the course will be Cowboy Carter.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But the Black history in country and Western music goes back to the 17th century, to the beginning.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting, too, because I heard you speak on it, or I was reading about it, but it was like, because I've always heard of the Appalachian style and like the Irish, the Celtic, all that kind of influence, but also the African. I didn't realize like the banjo was really based off of something that came from Africa. I didn't actually realize that.
Absolutely. The banjo is an African instrument. And my definition of country music is it's Celtic, English, Irish, Scottish ballads, plus Black musical influences, plus evangelical Christianity. Those three things together, you got a country song.
Which is so inclusive and nice. What a beautiful stew. You know what I'm saying? Like all those things, like all those influences.
Absolutely. Co-created. Co-created.
Yeah, I love it. Well, Valerie, that you say you sense a lack of awareness of Black country, right?
Yes, and I mean, we're starting to become more aware of the presence of Black people in country music and how we've always been there. I don't just see this as something that happens with the white American world. It happens even around my dinner table. I've had to explain to my family when they ask me, why do you sound so country why do you sing country music? I'm like, you do know that, like Alice said, since the 17th century, 1700s, we have been singing country music. And knowing that and saying that at the dinner table to my own family that is Black. Hello, this is not so strange. We've had a part of this, but it's been erased even in our own culture. So for this new record with Beyonce and for all of the women on this record, we're just reminding ourselves too, not just the powers that be in Nashville, but ourselves of our place in country music and how we've always been there and that it's right. It's a good place to be.
No,
you know?
Absolutely. And you reminded me, I remember when I was a kid, I just listened to the radio. I had no idea that Charlie Pride was Black. But I remember when I found out he was Black, I was like, what? I had no idea. And I think the cool thing about that is if you do strip away, even they said it's just the music and the sound. Do you love it? Does it move you? Does it feel real? Does it move you is the big thing for me. And it's kind of, it just reminded me that I was introduced that was not normal. And I was like, well, why is that not normal? Like, it sounds just like all the other stuff that I love. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we're introduced to that as children and conditioned to know something, and which is unfortunate.
Well, I love what you say about Charlie Pride, and I want to go back for a moment to 1930. One of the most famous country songs of all time is Blue Yodel No. 9, and people always say that's like the most stone hillbilly record.
Yeah.
But there were three geniuses on that record. One was Jimmie Rodgers. The other was the mama of Black country, Lil Hardin, and the other was Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
That song that sounds stone hillbilly, two out of the three geniuses on it were Black. But their name wasn't put on the label, so the history was erased. And they recorded that in 1930. 30. Lil Hardin is the mama of Black country.
I mean, that reminds me too of like even growing up on Ray Charles. Like he has gone through so many like different genres. I love my 7-year-old boy will just be playing Ray Charles on Alexa, and I'm like, I love you so much. Like I don't know why or how it happened, and maybe he hears me listen to my vinyl, but he loves listening to it, and he will go from something that sounds kind of country, kind of Motown, singer-songwriter. That's the thing I loved about Ray Charles too, is he was like, there were no boundaries, and I thought that was beautiful as well. It's just music that you love.
Well, you know, I said that Lil Hardin is the mama of Black country. D. Fort Bailey, who first was the Opry's first superstar, not Black superstar. First superstar was the Papa, but Ray Charles was their genius child, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh man, big, huge fan, aren't we all? Well, everybody, My Black Country, the songs of Alice Randall, which features Valerie June, is out right now. Be sure to check it out, and also pick up Alice's new book, My Black Country: A Journey Through Country Music's Black Past, Present, and Future.